Does Airbus have two planes that directly compete with each other? Does Airbus' newest regional plane compare to the famed Baby Bus? In this video, I will compare the two and see which plane is superior. Before I dive into this comparison, please consider subscribing to my channel. Over 90% of you are not subscribed, and all it takes is clicking that red button below. Back in 2018, Airbus bought a majority stake in the C-Series regional jet line from Bombardier. Does this newest regional jet addition to Airbus's fleet compare with the A318 Baby Bus? Let's dive into some categories to find out. The first category is the aircraft's range and capacity. The A318 can carry 117 passengers in a typical two-class layout for 5,740 kilometers. It is usually laid out in a free configuration in economy. It comes standard with 18-inch wide seats. The A318 does have two middle seats in this configuration, which may not be ideal for some solo travelers. Almost identical to the A318, the A220-100 can fit 116 passengers in a typical layout for a lesser distance, at 5,110 kilometers of range. The A220 cabin is laid out in a two-free configuration with 18.6-inch wide standard seats. The cabin does seem to be nicer to its older competition. So, the capacity seems almost identical, but the A318 can fly further. To offset this, however, the A220's cabin is more modern and spacious. So, the aircrafts are comparable in this category. But how do they line up in terms of efficiency? Our second category is the plane's efficiency. The operating costs of an airliner are essential for airlines in order to get a maximum profit. The A318 burns about 600 gallons of fuel per hour compared to the A220-100 burning between 450 to 550 gallons per hour depending on the payload. The A220 is definitely more efficient with newer engines and newer aerodynamic technologies. The operating cost of an A220-100 will in turn be much lower and will, for most routes, earn more per flight than the A318. So, for the same amount of passengers, you would have to use less fuel and probably less maintenance costs as well. The A220-100 seems the better choice for airlines in our current age. But what about the price? Which airliner is more affordable? Our third category is the aircraft's price. The A220-100 retails for about $79 million before discounts and such, while the A318 retails for around $77 million. Now, whether Airbus will actually manufacture any more A318s is not known. It is a very small difference, and for most airlines will definitely be worth the extra $2 million. For an extra $2 million, getting a nicer, more modern, and more efficient aircraft, it's definitely worth the money. Now, if Airbus was to manufacture an A318 NEO, which is very unlikely, maybe things would be different. But what do airlines think is the most profitable for them? Let's look at our final category, the aircraft's orders. The A318 was not a particularly popular plane with only 80 lifetime orders. Air France is the Baby Bus's biggest customer, having 18 of them in their fleet. It does not seem to be the best option for airlines who may have preferred regional jets with lower operating costs. The A220-100, on the other hand, has had 94 orders so far. Its biggest customer is Delta, with 45 of the -100 variant order. The A220-100 is much newer, and yet already the order sheet is much greater. The A220-100 seems to be better for airlines overall for either replacing older Embraer's 190s or expanding their existing fleet. So, which aircraft is superior? Well, the A220-100 seems to be clearly the better aircraft. Its new cabin and new technologies cannot be matched by the A318's older design. The only thing that the A318 is better at doing, it seems, is having more range. So, in some isolated cases, the range may be a selling point for the A318. But in almost every other way, the A220-100 will come ahead of the A318. The capability of both of these aircraft in regards to the steep approach technologies is also amazing. The A318 used to be the largest option for steep approach and hard runways, but the A220-100 has now taken over that role. Do you think the A220-100 is an ideal replacement for the A318? Let me know in the comments below. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.